welcome once again to Elders of GMS, giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Today's topic is entitled Understanding the Book of Revelation. And the reason why I'm going through this title is because there was one of the brothers from out in the West that had made a video, and he had went a little off, but you know, that's all right. That happens, you know. He had got back in contact with the brothers and said, "Oh, I made a mistake. I didn't realize it." And that's why what we're going to do is we're going to go through, you know, most of the book of Revelation, or the different chapters of Revelation. We don't have to go through all of them because some of them are pretty easy to understand. The first chapter, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter is pretty much easy to understand. I would say the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and beyond, you're gonna have a little trouble with those breakdowns. So we're going back through that. I don't know if this is gonna be this is only gonna take one show, or there's gonna be a sequel the following week. But we'll go with the spirit. Before I go into that, though, I just want to mention a video came up the other day. Some brother sent me the video.
All right.
And you'll see it. You'll see it right. You'll see it before your screen right now. It's a guy that looks like Jim Kelly from the '70s black movies, and another guy that looks like Chinese water rat. The Chinese water rat looking guy, the light skinned looking guy, that his name is Saadia, and the Jim Kelly lookalike, he looks like his name is Rum, and they're from Boston, and Boston was set up by myself years ago, back in the early '90s. I had went up there and had set up. Those were the two main guys that I dealt with, and it became a big camp, but it dwindled down to nothing. Now, there was a lot of controversy through the years with that camp and the main school. There was a split that took place, as we spoke about it before, and we had a major council dealing with the whole Cornelius thing. Now, this whole Cornelius thing keeps coming back up. So we had a council, and Gabar was the one that brought out the scriptures on Cornelius being the Israelite, and basically a handful of brothers saw it, but then when we had the next council, they flipped and said they didn't see it, you know, which showed that they wasn't grounded. And most of them guys didn't see anything, and it led to us being kicked out of the school. But what happened was, after we so-called got kicked out of the school, because I was over Connecticut, actually it was a power play to try to get control of Connecticut, all right? Because they basically, at the One West School, it was like all about a power trip, guys being on the top level and controlling shit. So the same thing happened when the split came. So they were trying to just get, you know, centralize everything, so to speak. And they used that whole Cornelius thing to say, "Oh, y'all going off, and y'all can't be in the school." So basically, we was out of the school. But the following week, a bunch of them came up to the school in Connecticut to try to get us to go back to the main school. And basically, I told the main guy, a man by the name of Ya'asha, which he's back in the world, I said, "Look, don't call us, we'll call you." So he got the message, you know. And what they didn't understand was we were on a Day of Atonement type fast that day when they came up, which they didn't know about because we didn't tell them. And they got lost coming up there. And your ass had been up there many a time. So how in the hell you going to get lost? Because the spirit wasn't with those guys. And what we found out, there was a lot of bickering and fighting. And basically all those different little groups went about their own business. Now Boston went on their own, and there was a point where they said, "Oh, we don't got to go out there and teach on the street." Now, they can't come and tell me that they were still teaching on the street, because Elder Gabar and Elder Ramlab was up in Boston for about, what, a year or two? 5 or 6 years, because there was big construction up there. So they were doing construction up there. So they relocated up to Mass to do that. And you know what they did? They went around on Saturdays and Sundays to see if those guys was out there. And they ain't seen those guys out there teaching, all right? Now, years later, when we set up, we were on 34th Street, when we set up on YouTube, you had certain guys come from different states to watch us speak. One of the guys, what's the brother's name? The main brother? Adama. All right, Adama. He came down along with the other brother that they didn't know. What's his name? Imas. And they got together. Now they have the Boston camp. Now, what I found out about Adama is that he was a part of the original camp with Sa'adja and Arum. And he said basically they were wicked as hell, man. They were trying to rip the brother off and all that. I don't know the full deal. He told me, you know, but people tell you stuff, you forget stuff. But anyway, we thought nothing of it. So he actually got the truth from them, but he found that they were wicked. And then he saw us, and then he became the head of Boston. So he knows those guys very well, just like we know those guys very well. And at the council, at that main council at the house of David, they had a big problem with the topic on whether Cornelius is an Israelite or not, right? And they were down with that whole thing that you guys are going off, you got demons on you. Now they came out with this video, and you can, and the first word that pops out of Arum's mouth is, we found out, something to the effect that we found out that Cornelius is an Israelite, Gentile, or whatever. So you can't deny it, and we were the ones that brought, and then they said, oh, the Lord gave it to, well, no, the Lord gave it to y'all back in the 90s. You just close your ears to the Lord, because you didn't like the fact that it was coming out of somebody's mouth. So now you done figured out that Cornelius is an Israelite, just like that blockhead hot dog, Nate Satan, done figured out that Cornelius is an Israelite. And back there, Nate Satan jumped up and down saying you guys are going off. So now, what's the conclusion of the whole thing? We were always right. The Most High was always with us. Because for you to deny something, say you're going off, you got demons, and now you're teaching what we were teaching, but you ain't going to make no video saying, well, there was a council, and, you know, Tahar, Gabar, and Ramlab, certain brothers showed us that Cornelius was an Israelite. We didn't accept it. We found it out now. We want to apologize. You ain't going to hear no apology from them guys. You ain't going to hear no apology from that clown, Nate Satan. And like I said before, I said, watch, you're going to have guys coming out the woodwork now because these prophecies are coming to pass. So now they're trying to get in the good graces of the Most High. They done dust off their Bible. Some of them are wearing garments. Those guys wasn't even wearing garments, man, when they did that thing, that little show. All right? So, you know, the truth's coming out. Oh, another thing, the head of the Houston camp, well, the Houston camp itself confronted some guys that we never seen before, but they claim up and down that they've been out there for years. And me and a couple other brothers kind of came to the conclusion that has to be General Yohana's little motley crew out there, because they speak the same way. When you confront them about something, instead of answering your question, they loud talk you, they over talk you. Well, where's that in the scripture? Where did the Lord ever loud over talk the scribes and the Pharisees? He conversed with the scribes and the Pharisees. And I said that. I said, you're going to have guys out there in the different states that's going to set up camps. You ain't never seen these guys before, and all of a sudden out of the blue.